Hello and welcome back to episode 53 of Minecraft Ultra Hardcore. So, last episode we went through and we kind of labeled off, on these little signs all over the place, what we want to do in the future in all of our different areas. And one thing that, in this area that we're in right now, one of the things on the list is to form an identity for the area. So that's what we're going to be working on today. This area right here doesn't really have much to it. There's just a couple farms that were placed here. There's the slime farm, which I think is the strongest element so far. And then, the little guy right there and the little guy right here. This area doesn't even have close to an identity. So I did a little bit of thinking, and I think what we should do moving forward is focus it on the slime farm. Each area, I feel like, is focused on one main thing. Like this area is kind of focused on our house. This area is kind of focused on the cactus farm. The area over there, villagers. The area over there, or like way over there, is going to be mob farm. I don't really know what that stuff is going to be, but that would mean right here, I feel like should be focused on the slime farm. There will obviously be more things in this area, but I don't think there's going to be anything else here that matches the scale that the slime farm's at. So here is the next bit, and this will unfortunately probably require we completely alter the walls of the slime farm, which will take a very long time. But here's what I'm thinking, okay? There's this spot down here in the wall of the slime farm. Here, we're going to turn on Cheetah Gamma. I really wanted to cut out this wall right here so that when you're in the slime farm, you can see into here and heavily decorate, these caves in here. And then whenever I was going through thinking of what we should do for, the upper area up here, I was thinking, what if we found somewhere to link it to that hole I had in the wall? If we want here to kind of be not the center of the area is probably going to span like around like this or something. This will be off to the edge. It'll be like what kind of categorizes the area into what it is. So I was thinking, if we're going to have this be such a strong element that focuses very strongly on this opening to the tunnel right here, why don't we just focus on the underground in all the rest of the area and these other pockets that are all over the place? So then I was thinking, okay, well, how do you do that? What if the slime farm is the center point of some kind of big viney, tendrily, root-looking plant with growths that kind of grow in and out of all over this whole area, and they also grow all throughout underground in these tunnels, right? And we put all kinds of gems and crystal that the thing is either feeding on or growing off of it. And then on top of that, as we have with the whole civilization that we have growing over here for the sand thing, everyone who lives in those little guys are going to have something to do with the area around it. I have lots of other things I want to add around here, and here maybe this whole civilization area lives both above ground and below ground, harvesting the little crystals that the plant is making or feeding off of. So all of these tunnels in here, we possibly create more. We make areas like this bigger. We blow up tons of stuff with TNT. We make a whole giant underground area that also has something to do and mirrors what's going on above. Of course, that will be a freaking massive amount of work. It'll be a huge undertaking, bigger than this one, bigger than that one, but why not? Why not? I think it'll be fun and cool, and I want to do it. And unfortunately, it will mean we put a massive pause on what's going on over here and a massive pause on what's going on over there. Of course, I'm probably not going to, 100% permanently pause on them, but they're definitely no longer going to be the main objective. Of course, also on that note, with having that guy and that guy over there and, all of my other bits not being the main objective, I kind of want to, for the previous 50 episodes, I jumped around a lot. I jumped around a whole lot. And of course, I was doing that because I wanted to, I kind of got bored with one area at a time, but then I also didn't want to focus every video on just one thing. So I jumped around a lot, and I feel like that might not be the best way to do things. I don't know. So I think for the time being, I'm going to stick as much as I can in this area. Maybe I'll come around and touch things over here or over there. Who knows? I don't. But for now, we're going to hard focus this area as much as possible. So now we actually get to start doing all this. But before we start working on anything, we need to come up with a block palette. Over here has the palette, it's got the deep slate and the spruce. Over there is acacia and then sandstone. Those are actually the only two places. Oh no, and then my nether. My nether is blackstone and the red nether tree stuff. So over here, we need to come up with some kind of block palette to build everything out of. But before we do that, we actually have to figure out what this area is. We need to go through and establish a border around this whole thing to actually figure out what it is that we're going to be working with and where we're going to be working with it. So I am going to go and figure out where that is, and then we will be right back and discuss it. Okay, I think we can call this bordered enough. You might not be able to see very well. I did the little cobblestone border because I have tons of cobblestone sitting around, but it might be a little bit larger than I originally planned on being, you know, but it is what it is. So we're going to start from here. We go all the way around, you know, we follow these lines, and then we cut across right here. And I went all the way out to here because down below there were some caves that I kind of wanted to grab. I wanted this one. I wanted like some of that one over there. I wanted to make sure I got all of this guy in there, and it goes around, touching this water right here, and then around this side, and over here it shoots out a little bit. It's not just going to curve right down around there because there are some other like large underwater caves that I feel like will be fun to mess with, and so we have a lot of these to go in here, and I'm pretty sure that I think this mine shaft is also part of it. Yeah, we got a bit of mine shaft in here too that we can mess with. And then, of course, it's going to wrap back around there, around the side, and close off. So, if I fly way up here, we can see the shape of the area that we're going to be working with. Right here, we have all of this is going to be the borders for the next big section that we're going to be working on. And so, I think that'll turn out all right. If we fly up here, you'll see that it's somewhat similar to the scale of the other biome. Yeah, it's probably pretty obscured by the clouds, but, you know, it goes out around like that. So, it makes kind of a complete circle if you look at those two. So it shouldn't be too big of an undertaking, especially since we're not making a sea of custom trees. This should be doable. So now that we know where everything is going to be, we can move on to figuring out block palettes. Because before we start building, we need to know where we're going to be building with. And then, once we finish that, we kind of have the lore of the area. We have the area itself. We have the block palette. I feel like by then, we'll be able to mark off, form an identity for the area. So let's go figure out what that palette's going to be. Alright gamers, just a little while later, and I have come up with what I think I want to deal with. Here is almost like every, I mean, not really, it doesn't have any of the leaves and stuff, but like the majority of the green blocks in the game. I want to try and incorporate all of them best I can. This area is going to take on a much different build style than I have been doing for the past like year. I want to do something really different from this area, so I'm going to try and force myself to do it by using a big palette with some other random blocks like these in there. I want to figure out how on earth to get these blocks to fit. I want to do my best, but they're also there. And then over here we have the warped blocks as like an accent. I was thinking, yeah, I wish there was some kind of green wood in the game, and this is the best I'm gonna get. It is a wood, and it is green for the most part. It's more of like a turquoise, like I guess turquoise, teal, cyan. Are those the same? Are those the same color? Hold on. Okay, I looked it up. They're all different colors, but I think teal is the closest, but it's still pretty green. It still looks pretty green, which is what we're going for. So these are going to be the main blocks. These are going to be the accent blocks that we'll use over here for an example. Like main blocks are the stuff in there. Accent blocks are the stuff right there. So that's kind of going to be how we're going to build. And so with that, I think we can safely say that we have formed an identity for the area. We know what we're doing from here on out. We've got everything planned and everything ready to actually start work in this area. I'm excited. I'm excited. I've got beautiful plans in my head for what this will look like. Hopefully I can carry them out. Let's not end it at that though. We need to make sure we actually can build like this. We need to make sure it's actually possible. So what I'd like to move on to now is decorating this guy right here. Finally, after months. I don't remember how long ago it's been since I built this guy. It's been such a long time. We need to put some of that stuff around this. We need to give this a building, which will unfortunately screw up our paths quite a bit, but you know, it's inevitable. We knew it was going to happen when we built them. It has to get done. So let's just see what we can come up with. You know, I only just started the time lapse. I only just started, like, I put up that guy, I built the shape, like the smallest shape around this that I could build, and then I started getting the warped stems, because, you know, I'm gonna need those for building. I've been at this for 45 minutes, and this is all I've got my hands on. Granted, Some of that time was gathering some more like building materials, but these warped stems, they're not that main bit, but like, oh my gosh, they are so annoying to get my hands on. I bone meal, I break all these guys, I spam this guy, it goes really tall, and not only do I have to break all of these, but I also have to manually break all of this. It takes so long. I don't know if I'm doing this right or if I'm doing it wrong. I don't know how I'm supposed to be doing this. We need the warped fungus farm like immediately. We need this so soon. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in the books for eventually, and then get back onto the time lapse. I just wanted to say this isn't fun. Okay, and we are finally done. Here's what we have. I wouldn't say it is like the best outcome. This isn't what I had in my mind, but you know, this was a trial run. I don't know how to build the way I want to build. This is the closest I can get to it. You know, there's a lot of different greens. I feel like there's a better way for me to figure out how to make them all work together. I want them all to work together, and I also, you may have noticed, I only use these guys in here. I don't know why I put them there. I just did. I feel like there's a better way to use those blocks. Honestly, the whole thing feels just way too flat. It just feels like plasticky, if that's how I word it. But you know what, it's something that we can get to later. And I feel like one of the main contributing factors to it is I don't have a lot of the depth giving blocks that I like using in places. I don't have a ton of them. If we look in here, look at all this warped wart block that I have. I have tons of this stuff. And that's because I had to go back and forth over and over again. Those couple stacks that I got like early on, not nearly enough. I farmed this maybe 3 or 4 times as much as I had in that one instance, because I needed so much of it. So you know what, a warped wood farm is probably definitely in the works, or not in the works. It's a necessity. It's something that we're going to need. So I'm probably going to be doing that next episode instead of something else, because it's such a massive barrier to entry to building these buildings. Also, I'm probably going to end up needing a terracotta farm too, because I used a ton of terracotta and I had to go back and mine some terracotta, and I'm gonna be needing a whole lot more. So you know, we'll figure out what we're gonna do. But for now, it's decorated and we have something there. Anyways, with a couple of our goals for today now out of the way, it is time to extend a very big thank you to Julian Pengeli, Baba, Amber, and Zai7 for subscribing. Thank you guys very much, and thanks very, very much to all of the other people who have subscribed in the past. You guys are the best. If you would like to join them, you armor off, please subscribe and tell me that you did so in the comments. It is really the only way that YouTube tells me that you did. Our family has grown so big through that, and it is so nice. I would love to see it grow even farther. I want this to stretch all the way down so that I can start using like branching hallways. I think that'll be fun. Anyways, I hope you had a wonderful previous part of your day. I hope you have a wonderful next part of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.